This is some of the most irresponsible shark diving I have ever seen. Several people were asking me why, so let's go through frame by frame and see what we could have done better. Firstly, I want to say no hate to any of the guests or clients on board. The tour operator is responsible for keeping everybody as safe as possible in the water when swimming with sharks. The tour operator should have several safety rules that people are following while they're in the water. People should not be just scattered around throughout the water where the shark can just go up to anybody at any time without a guide being present. In the very first clip, a shark approaches a woman from behind. It's really important when swimming with sharks to be looking all around constantly for sharks approaching you at any angle and making eye contact with sharks when possible. When you make eye contact with a shark, you look more like a predator than their prey. So ideally, the tour company would have instructed everyone to be looking around constantly, making eye contact with the shark, facing the shark, and being ready to greet them. There would also be other people pointing out the shark for this woman that there's a shark behind her so she can turn around and make eye contact with the shark and be ready for its approach. If the tank wasn't between this woman and the shark, it could have ended a lot worse. Next, we have this gentleman here who clearly does not know how to redirect a shark, which should not be his job. It should be the guide's job. So you'll notice in this part of the clip, when the shark is approaching him, he's flailing and sort of panicking, which can be extra interesting to a shark. Those really fast, sudden movements could indicate a hurt, injured, dying, weak animal. And of course, sharks liking easy prey, that is something that they could be interested in. So that's really dangerous to have people that are not confident with sharks trying to redirect them. Here are some of their movements, but again, this should not be their job. In the next frame, we do see who I believe is the guide. Now you'll notice the guide has a fish head in his hand. Chumming is a way to attract sharks for shark tours. But the chum does not seem organized or contained in a certain area. He's kind of just holding it around all of the clients. So this is just putting the scent of the shark's food in the entire water column all around the people. And the shark is just trying to find where its food is. The guide does seem more confident with the shark than the guests, of course, you would expect that. But he should always be there to put himself between the shark and the inexperienced guest, which he does not do throughout this video. You can see the guide is way more confident than the guests on board, so he should always be placing himself in between the shark and the guests. Organization with where the guests are in the water will always help this situation, like if you had all of your people in a line closer together, where you can always put yourself as the guide in between the shark and the guests. No guests that don't have a lot of experience should ever be trying to redirect a shark, especially a huge shark like a tiger shark, which can do a lot of damage. Here you can see this guy does not know how to redirect a shark. Again, it should not be his job. There's not a lot of confidence there to handling that shark. Sharks are wild animals and apex predators, and handling them should be done by people with a lot of experience that feel pretty confident with doing so. You can see how closely this led to this man getting his arm taken off. Sadly, at no point does the guide step in to help this man. He does drop the fish and just let it sink to the bottom, but he does not go to help his client. Sadly, in this last part of the video, this woman actually does get bit. Luckily for this woman, the bite is not very bad, and it doesn't look like it did a ton of damage, though I can't be sure. And I think how the shark is behaving in this video is really a testament to the sharks and how well they are actually able to determine that something is not their food. Because the scent of the shark's food is all around these people, and if it wanted to do more damage or actually attack these people, it easily would have been able to. Swimming with sharks is an amazing experience. I recommend for anyone to try it, but it needs to be done safely or else it will just give the sharks a bad name, even if any negative encounters are human influenced. This shark was just trying to find its food source in a group of very inexperienced divers, and if something negative would have happened, it would just look bad on the sharks. Please go swim with sharks with trained professionals and reputable companies that have a lot of safety guidelines in place for your safety and for the well-being of the shark. There was so many things that were wrong throughout this video, so I'd love to hear other people's thoughts on how this could have been a way safer interaction.